Just restarted a voice meter. What is that?
Oh, thank you, Susie. Did that solve the problem? How am I sounding?
But so far, better than before.
Did that solve the problem? Good. Okay. Since this problem has actually pissed us off now, I think we will be doing some troubleshooting to try and solve it between this stream and the next one.
Hicks wasn't talking very loudly there, Mike.
There's a stalker in the room.
It doesn't even seem like a commonly... There's like very few people whining about it.
I wonder if it's just something to do with the distance, you know? We're streaming from opposite sides of the world together.
But we don't hear it each other.
That's true, we don't hear it. But it could be a shadow play thing. Maybe we just need to finally move to OBS or something. Away from shadow play. Who else wants an AVP comic book adaptation into trilogy? I don't know about a trilogy, but I would love to see an anime of the first one. That would be pretty cool.
I'm not so thrilled on Hunter's Planet or War, but yeah, definitely the original. I'll be all over that.
More of those abominations.
I'll try and finish this quickly here.
That's fine, take your time, buddy.
Watch the ceiling.
Ah, still out of ammo. I think the next room has some.
Joe says Machiko took a different character from Ripley, and it would be great to center the AVP franchise on a new character. Yeah, I mean, say what we will about the prequels and everything, and the AVPs, but at least they haven't been Ripley, like the expanded universe is doing. Machiko was interesting. I always quite liked her. I still love to see Peter Briggs' thing.
Yeah, they could do a William Gibson, you know, what they did for William Gibson, they could do for Peter Briggs. But he's got a story in the upcoming Predator anthology.
It certainly does. Have you cracked yours open yet?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's
a
red
little
one.
bit.
Yeah,
Not
I've
fully.
read the first two, I think. Chris, we were saying about getting back on with the extreme playthroughs and giving it a go. It's alright, we'll just play Lancer and maybe we'll get through them. Yeah, I agree, Joe. Ripley's great, but like I like Amanda, and Amanda was an incredible inclusion in Isolation when he shouldn't have been, but she was. But yeah, I think we're at the point where we do need to move on from here. And focus more on the original characters, you know, focus on Blue and focus on Hoop and stuff like that.
Yeah, bring back Hoop.
Yeah, what happened to Hoop?
One of the few instances of a good male protagonist in Alien.
Chris says, wow, after this week he's on Monday to Friday for 2 weeks, then he's off for 2 weeks. We've got 4 weeks worth of time to try and play this on Extreme.
Ooh.
Sounds like a plan to me, bud. White Baden says he'd like to see Bracket come back. How do you feel about Bracket?
Bracket. Remind me. That
River of Pain.
I don't remember liking it. Oh, the psychic dude.
Oh, that was.
Oh, that was Sea of Sorrow. What?
Yeah, that was Decker.
Right. I guess River
You
of
don't
Pain.
remember Bracket?
Not really. Was he like the security guy?
He was the Colonial Marines CO.
Oh, that's right.
Retconned.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I wasn't too into that story, and it didn't really, I guess, stay in my mind too much. I need to revisit it.
It's one of the. Like, I probably listened to that one most of all out of the audio dramas.
This one is intact.
Yeah, the audio drama was okay. I need to listen to it again, though. It's been probably 2, maybe 3 years since I listened to it.
I really liked having Colin Salmon back.
Yeah, that was a cool addition. I think he was with the security forces in that. That's what I was thinking of.
Were you thinking AVP?
No, because there was like a Hadley's Hope security force in that story, wasn't there? Besides the Colonial Marines?
No. He was the Colonial Marine CO.
Colin Salmon's character?
Yeah, he played the CO. That was Bracket.
Oh, and he survived?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Those books basically set up jumping points for more stories, but they went with the opening setup in Sea of Sorrows.
They found that escape pod that was like hidden in the facility, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris has got to shoot. 3 a.m. start. Have a good stream. Thanks, Chris. Speak to you later, buddy.
Access the upper door over where you entered.
As much of a fan as I am, I don't remember everything I go through because we do go through a lot.
You do have terrible memory.
I just have bad memory. Yeah.
I liked Bracket. I liked Colin Salmon's portrayal of him, but how that book ended, I always felt was a little cheap, because he got his knockoff Newt, because he basically wanted to be Newt's dad, really, at the end of it all.
Yeah.
And he couldn't rescue Newt, so he rescued her friend, and I was like, oh, that feels a bit weird, but
Yeah.
okay.
Settle for her friend.
Mark Allen, sorry, says, are you guys excited for Prey's release on Hulu? I hope it's good.
Controls are locked.
I'm really excited for it. You know, like, I was always intrigued from what we knew of the premise, you know. I've always wanted a period piece, a live action, on the TV, I was going to say on the big screen, on the TV, period Predator film, or anime or something, but I just wanted to see it in moving pictures. So I was always intrigued from the start. The first teaser trailer was okay, but that full trailer, I was like, yep, I am on board for this. I just hope it's good.
Access the control instrumentality.
Probably the first one of the Predator films I've actually been looking forward to. Like, I had a huge turnaround in Predators. I thought
Yeah, because we were apprehensive about that, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be terrible, but I really enjoyed Predators. The Predator was a weird one because we had all the leaks and stuff as well, but it's like a... I always try and not make my mind up beforehand, but it was difficult. It was difficult with that one. But it was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to watch it. We'll see what we think. But yeah, this one I'm genuinely looking forward to.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't let me down.
And there haven't really been many or any real leaks. Like, we know nothing about the story, whereas with The Predator, we read the whole script beforehand.
And with Predators, you know, we had a leaked draft, a leaked early draft. We ended up with a copy of the Robert Rodriguez one as well. Though we do have some of those rumours on Prey that apparently came from the crew. But we'll see. Joe says, I'm excited for Prey. I'm trying to avoid as much of it as possible, though. I want to go in as blind as I can. Yeah, that's fair. It's actually been reasonably refreshing not knowing everything.
And I'm hoping I will be able to see it on the big screen, because we are trying to go to the premiere at San Diego Comic-Con in 2 weeks. And so if that works out, we will be there to cover it for y'all. Hopefully, it goes better for me than The Predator premiere did.
Yeah, you had a great time there, didn't you?
I had a fantastic time, let me tell you. I mean, I did actually have a nice time. It was just stressful, and the circumstances of the day were not ideal, and the circumstances of the premiere were not ideal either. But, I mean, Toronto's nice, so at least I had a nice little trip, even if the premiere was not fun.
I haven't had a bad one yet.
Yeah, Covenant was a good premiere.
Yeah. I mean, technically that was the only premiere I've been to, but like all the other events have been okay. Press showings and what have you.
Woo! I better heal.
It helps. I actually really enjoyed Covenant, even with my problems with the last act.
There is another enter the sequence. Bone, protective, withdraw.
Rounded. Do you think we'll ever get the engineer boss fight in this game?
Well, there are...
an engineer?
I don't know if I'd want a living one. But we can see there are dead ones in the new campaign, which there were not any in the main campaign.
I think I missed that. Joe says, I enjoyed your commentary on The Predator. I know it's a terrible movie, but I'm glad you guys didn't trash it too much. Well, it was complained about. I still think it was my worst idea to do from the worst to the best, but I try not to trash them too much.
Yeah.
Even the ones I don't like.
Even the ones I don't like either. Like, they all have redeeming qualities. Ooh, I just got that daily done.
Nice.
Oh, I gotta go destroy the last thing.
We need to decide what film we're doing next, commentary-wise.
Covenant. Because that's the next worst one.
No.
Okay, Prometheus.
Yeah, I was thinking Prometheus. But we'll have to
Good.
vote.
I'm glad we agree that Alien Resurrection is better than Prometheus.
It frustrates me more than Prometheus, than Resurrection, but... Sharik J says, I hate that the engineers are just basically humans. The backstory could have been so much better than them. Yeah. Well, let's not get into Prometheus. I'm still editing that podcast and I find it tiring.
Yeah, we just recorded a positive podcast because the last few had been kind of negative. So we were like, we just need to talk about something we know we all like. So
have a reminder that we like things. Alright, I'm going to load back in then and try and join.
Alright. You join me and keep the viewers who have stuck with us through all this technical difficulties entertained for a second. So I'm going to run to the restroom. I'll be quick. I'll be back.
Fair enough. Oh, Sizzy says Alien Res is amazing. We were talking about, like, you know, which films we'd find easier to watch on the boards. You know, not like sit there and like pay full attention to or just whatever. You know, just easier to have on. And a lot of people were saying, you know, Resurrection as well. And I don't know. I find it's one of those films where it has lots of things that elements that I think are interesting, but because it's kind of wasted, it annoys me. But like Aliens, I think is my go-to easy watch of the films. It's three I really have to be in the mood for, but I love it. Honestly, I'd rather read Resurrection than watch it. You know, I think a matchup of both Genet and Whedon is a bit much. But just one without the other, I think, is kind of okay. So, like, I quite enjoyed the novelization. A.C. Crispin's novelization. It plays a bit more with Ripley's sort of crisis of, you know, identity that I find really intriguing. It plays more in that. Don't get me wrong, I do like Genet. I really like City of the Lost Children and Amelie and what else? A Delicatessen and his other films, but I don't know. I just think him and Whedon together is too much. Metal Thrashing Matt says, I was a strange child. I watched TV recordings of Aliens 3 on repeat all the time. But as an adult, Aliens is easily the best leisure watch, yeah.
Okay, back.
And Matt also says, I don't hang out on the boards much, but I just wanted you to know, Aaron, that I really enjoy the podcast and listen to them all the time. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of work goes into them. A lot of polish goes into them, so it's always nice to hear that, you know, folk out there do actually listen and enjoy them. It's one thing to see the stats and stuff, but to actually hear from people is nice.
I got one more level to do with my Demolisher. Have you tried the X45 Bombard yet? The new assault rifle from the last update?
I don't know is the answer to that question, because I went through that phase of binging it again, didn't I? I'm fine now. You can start when you're ready. I'm doing my last.
Cool. Sizzy Bubbles says, you guys do some great podcasts. Oh, well, thank you. We try.
Thanks.
We try.
Especially with the interviews as well. You know, I put so much effort into the prep for those to try and make sure that it's not just the same old bullshit that you've heard 1,000 times before. And I think we've done some good work getting some good guests, you know, like Rex Pickett recently, you know. That were a fucking interview and a half.
Oh, man, yeah.
And,
what
you know,
level you want to do?
when we... dealer's choice, buddy. I'm playing Phalanx, so maybe some of the Android ones.
Dealer's choice. Little anemic without the orchestra. Okay, we'll do an Android one.
So, tachyon transmitter. You be careful with those tachyons. I just finished Alex White's excellent novels. Thank you for the recommendation, but now I don't know what to read as a follow-up. White's so good that I worry almost anything else will be a letdown. Yeah, I can feel that. If you...
Out of the Shadows?
Well, Phalanx, I think, is the next one that I'd hold in the same regard. Scott Siegler, I do hold to the same esteem as Alex. So if you haven't read Phalanx, go give that a go.
Ooh.
And my other favourites from the original run would be Music of the Spears by Von Navarro and Berserker by S.D. Perry. Those were... It's been a little while since I've read them, but those are ones that I always really, really enjoyed. I'm rereading Labyrinth at the minute, and I never remembered it being one of the best, and I've still kind of got that feeling. It does feel a little phoned in.
Sharik J asks, which Alien movie scared you the most? Alien 3 used to terrify me as a kid. Doesn't seem to be very liked in the US compared to the UK. I gotta go with the original Alien myself. I think that one is still the scariest.
Yeah, Europe really liked Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection.
Even in the theaters?
Yeah, it was pretty well regarded. Well, box office takes were a lot better on our side. But for me, it was Aliens. You know, I know it's the action film, but I watched Aliens.
That gave you the nightmares, right?
Yeah, at a very young age, that gave me nightmares that lasted a good 5 years. But it was that horror and the way it affected me that made me so obsessed.
I love how you became like appealed to your like traumatic viewing of it when you were too young. It's like,
yeah,
that enticed you. That's so interesting.
It did. It's morbid curiosity is what it was, because I was so fascinated. You know, my dad knew what the film had done to me, but I was always asking about it and asking about the you know, the games and the series and the other films and stuff like that. And you know, the entire reason I ever actually saw it in its entirety was because I accidentally walked in on my dad watching it again, and he was like, "Nope, you are dealing with this. Sit down and watch it."
That's good. Sometimes the parents just gotta tell their kids to, you know, to just deal with it. Like, I remember I used to be afraid of roller coasters, and my parents were like, "No, just you're doing the roller coaster." And then I ended up really liking them. So,
well, I mean, end of the day, it worked. It went from horrified fascination to just pure obsession. You know, Ripley's tirade against the runner applies to me, but just not in a negative way.
You've been in my life so long, I can't remember anything else. Yeah.
I truly could not think what I would be like without everything this franchise did to my life.
Mike's Monster says, I don't read all the literature or follow all the topics you guys cover on the podcast, but I listen to every one. The interviews are always great no matter what the subject. Oh, thank you. We're just getting all the podcast compliments today.
And they are always welcome, those comments. White Abaddon, I think, says Berserker is S tier. Is S tier good? I can't remember. I'm used to numbered
S tier is like better than A tier.
Because I only know it from numbered tiers of tier 0 being the best.
I mean, there's no like S grade in the US, so I don't know. I think that might be a Japanese thing. I think like they have S grades there. Like, I don't know. I don't know how the whole S better than A thing started. Anybody know that? But yes, S tier is like even better than A tier.
Tachyon Transmitter says the scariest thing in the franchise, in their opinion, is the hive nest. Yeah, well, that was the moment I had to turn the film off. Was after the chest burst in the nest. And
Aaron, go sit up front. Go on now.
Yeah. And you know how much I love the hive scenery as well. You show me some hive and I'm a happy fan. Sharik says the alien movies are always scary when there's just one alien. Maybe because Ripley was bald in Alien 3. That tipped it to the edge. I mean, I can't say I've ever been scared of bald women, but whatever. Whatever works for you.
Bald women. Oh, man. That's what they meant by 3 times the terror.
Sinon says that's how I got obsessed over Aliens too. My mum had it on TV while ironing and I watched it around for New Nightmares for years and years. See, there's something to be said about morbid curiosity.
There is, yeah. Manuel Noriga asks, excited for Prey? I mean, no. Get woke, go broke, you know? Like, Disney just gonna ruin it.
He says sarcastically, just for clarity's sake.
Yeah, I'm not being serious, everybody. I'm just kind of sick of hearing that, honestly.
I find it so hilarious, you know. It feels like we're being told off for not liking alien stuff and being told off for looking forward to the Predator stuff at the minute. It's like, oh man, Facebook's terrible. Metal Thrashing Matt says, I grew up watching TV VHS rips at a very young age and collecting all the action figures. I've been hooked from the beginning by Giga's creature design. Yeah, most of my early watchings of Alien and Aliens were tapes, was recordings I made. You know, I recorded the special edition of Aliens off Sky One. I recorded Alien off of Sky Movies Classic. I think my copy of Predator I got from my dad, and it was his copy. White Abaddon says, I was reading about the controversy around Mass Effect Deception recently, and it reminded me very much of Alien Colony War. You're going to have to explain further there, White Abaddon. Is that a...
Okay, if you're referring to the ending of Mass Effect 3, I still have not had that spoiled for me after 10 years, and I still intend to play it. I know it was controversial, but please don't spoil it.
Oh, they say Deception as in, like it's a comic or a book or an...
Oh, okay. Well, that I don't care about. So, if you want to spoil that, go ahead.
I'm really hoping I enjoy Inferno's Fall. I really am. It's about time we had another good novel.
So what are all the books coming out in August? Vasquez is coming out in August, right?
No. Oh, is it August?
Is it?
I don't think she is.
Or is it later?
I thought that was later. I thought we'd got the anthology, the AVP book. And...
Oh, Rift War. Yeah, that's finally coming out, huh? And Eyes of the Demon, but you weren't counting that, so there's supposed to be 4, right?
No, I can't remember. I can't think of any other one. We've got the start of the Predator comics, and we've got Salvador Larroca was the last piece of work.
His last stand featuring himself.
Can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the new guys' work.
Yeah. Yeah, the artist who's doing Predator, I saw the preview recently, and it's decent. It's good. It's a little stylized, but it kind of reminds me of Predator Hunters, because some of those ones are pretty stylized. So
I don't think there's. I actually quite like the style. My problem with the face, like the Predator's mandibles, just look really sticky outy. But the actual style I really like.
Joe says, get on Mass Effect, Adam. It's the best sci-fi series I've ever played. Yeah, well, I finished 1 and 2, and I really love them. I don't know why I didn't finish 3. I just fell out of it. Never got back to it, but I've always intended to. I know they had the remaster, which is pretty good, and it has a photo mode, so I should really be on that. You would like Mass Effect, Darren, because it's very, like, Star Trek-y, you know?
I think I started to play the original, but I found it... I didn't really like the flow of the game. Like, it just threw a lot at me to read really early on, so it felt like the game was starting and stopping a lot. So, Metal Thrashing Matt says, their dad had good taste. Alien, Predator, The Thing, Total Recall, Running Man, Terminator. Yeah, I agree there. That's the same as my dad. So White Abaddon says, Mass Effect Deception was a book filled with continuity errors and the like. Deception has been so panned that in this case BioWare apologised to the fans and promised a revised edition which never came out. Man. Hey Xander, welcome to the stream.
Oh, Xander!
Metal, Thrashing Metal also says it's hard to get into a franchise that has such a notoriously hated third act.
Well, I don't think people hated the third game, they just hated the ending. And that's what I kept hearing, anyway. Again, I have no idea what happens in the ending of Mass Effect 3, so I'm still quite curious about that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the same can apply to Aliens and Terminator.
I always liked Terminator 3, honestly, but for me, Salvation is my favorite non-T2 sequel. Although I do really want to finish playing that Terminator game, because what I played so far was pretty awesome.
I'm down.
Oh.
The Alpha's trying to get me. Zachary Rice says Andromeda was a bit disappointing but not a bad game. And Joe says that Mass Effect is worth it and I need to get on it. It's a mashup of it, Babylon 5, Star Trek, Star Wars and Stargate. Yeah, like I know I would enjoy it, but it's just one of those things, you know. I don't want to sit and have to put 1,000 hours into it if it's that slow. I'll try again one day. I know I've heard of a lot of the stuff and a lot of the things about was it the Reapers in that are right up my street.
Well, the third Terminator film, Xander, is actually T2 3D, which used to be at Universal Studios.
Oh, have you seen the footage of that?
Yeah, I mean, I did that a bunch of times.
Oh, you actually went through it?
Yeah.
I thought it looked terrible.
Oh, no, it was so good. It was directed by James Cameron. I guess you have to be there to really appreciate it. But.
Maybe it's one of those ones like where it has a certain charm, like how much I love Ride at the Speed of Fright.
Yeah.
Which is immensely cheesy, but goddamn, I love that footage. Have you found a thing?
No, I was just looking. We got a Prowler nearby, though.
It's dead. Thrashing says, I haven't caught Genesis. I'm reluctant based on what I heard, but I really should give it a fair shot. Yeah. Genesis,
it's fun
to get through.
Intoxicated, but it is terrible. I did like the scenes where they recreated the old scenes because it was pretty cool how they did it. But yeah, and Dark Fate had some good action sequences, but I can see why a lot of fans were disappointed. And I have only seen it once, and I've had no desire to watch it again.
I've only seen it the once as well. I remember it being actually reasonably okay. But then it was one of those ones where it was like Force Awakens, where it was kind of doing the same thing again to set up a new run. And I respect the Alien 3 starts.
Yeah, Xander, you're welcome to join us for the next one. We got one more in us, Aaron, after this.
Yeah, I've got one more. That gives me time to go and finish off Stranger Things with the missus before bed.
Yeah, I'm heading out of town tomorrow, so I'm going to be preparing for a trip.
Anywhere fun?
Denver, Colorado. I am actually thinking of making a detour to Gunnison for my AVPR pilgrimage. Even though that was actually filmed in Vancouver, and the town will look quite different, but still, I can say I've been to the actual Gunnison. But no, we probably won't make it, but we'll see.
I mean, to be fair, would it be as satisfying if you couldn't pose with like any of the places from the film?
Maybe not. No, maybe I need to just go to Vancouver, and then I can go to the actual like Ricky's Pizza place, you know.
Oh, damn, yeah.
And I'll have like a hat on.
That'll be your best alien experience of all time. I want to go to Blast Beach one day.
Oh, from Alien 3. Yeah, next time I go to UK, we gotta make that happen. That would make for a fun video.
Oh, I can't. I don't think there's really much video in there.
Well, we'll just film the beach and we'll be like, we're on the Alien 3 beach, everyone, yay! And you folks will like that, right?
My God. Nothing but quality content.
Caleb, welcome, says get a photo in front of the clock. I'll have to do that too. I'll have to find the clock. The infamous clock.
Yes. I'd be looking at you, Adam, I promise you.
Oh, man.
Definitely not the clock.
Oh, well, thank you, Pookie.
You should do Predator 2 next time you're in LA.
Yeah, Mike and I have actually been meaning to do that. We've been meaning to do like a Predator 2 filming locations thing. Hopefully we don't find ourselves in, you know, an actual dark alley with human bodies. But I don't think LA is quite as bad as it was in the 90s. It's certainly not as bad as it's depicted in Predator 2. So we should be okay.
He says content is content, guys. Oh, no, it isn't, buddy. No, it isn't.
Oh, I need to go grab that,
I've got one.
power core.
You know me, I refuse to do shit content.
That's what we gotta do, Aaron. We gotta sell out. That's how we're gonna get real growth.
No, I refuse to do 5-minute videos reading off a Xenopedia.
You know who else doesn't sell out, guys? Squarespace. Okay, Squarespace helps you build the
Metal Thrashing says, lice everywhere. You know, best make sure take some bug spray if we go to Blast Beach.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got chewed up by bugs. I was just in Georgia, and there's I went to the beach there.
That way they do a lot of Marvel filming at the minute.
Yeah, there's been a lot of filmmaking in Georgia, just because I guess they have the tax incentives. They did a lot of The Walking Dead there. Pretty much any movie where you see the Georgia peach and it's like filmed in Georgia. You know. Utah's been trying to appeal more filmmaking. We've had a bit, like I know Disney did like Lone Ranger here. I think they did some of John Carter here. But recently it hasn't been quite as much.
What do you think of John Carter? Because that film got trashed, but I feel like that's one of the ones that
I still haven't
to get
seen
reevaluated.
it. I still haven't seen it, but yeah, I heard that. I heard it was underrated.
Oh, Stranger Things is Atlanta. Mikey and Caleb are talking about playing again. Look, when the crossplay comes, we can all play together.
I know.
Happy AVPG family.
Esther, we were created to protect humans. That is my purpose here. They can't interfere.
Well, speaking of content, actually, if you haven't already watched it, we just posted a new video about our favourite scenes never seen, which was an incredibly hard piece to put together because when I tell people, oh no rush, it means we wait 7 months before it actually gets done.
But you did an awesome job putting that together. So yes, if y'all haven't seen that already, definitely go check that out because it's a fun little video, and we have a written article.
Little, quoting Worf there. Little,
like 30-minute long video, so not quite that little, but
what we're doing. Oh, we've done it.
Yeah, we did it. We can do our emotes and evacuate.
I can't remember what I've bound remotes to. Was it 5?
It's 5
It's
is
5.
the default.
We didn't expect to find a rogue botnet, but
All right, Xander, get in here quick.
nice job, Fireteam.
Do you remember who he is on Steam yet?
I think so.
Xander says great video, by the way, and Callum, I was going to call him then. Calum says, yeah, there's a good scene you guys mentioned there. Oh, I know a Callum. I don't know. I didn't even thought about that.
But I'll let you invite Xander.
Will do.
Calum says, always love me some Ron Cobb alien artwork, and that AVP opening fake out would have been cool to see.
Well, speaking of AVP openings, you know, the 0G thing from Peter Briggs' second script was also one of those ones I would think about. But, you know, since I don't... Oh, I can't invite you. Can you join us, Sander?
No, he's
Through
here.
me?
He's here.
Oh, he's here, okay.
Kyle Reese. Hey,
Yes,
Kyle.
I would have liked to have done that 0G opening bit, but there was, you know, since I didn't have the script, there was nothing to really dig into too much detail about.
Okay.
What mission do you want to do? Should we do an alien mission?
I got my Demolisher reward, so I don't need to play him anymore today. Lancer is still not fully ranked up, so I'm going to play Lancer. And I'll keep on upgrading the Microburst, even though I'm not crazy about it as a weapon.
Got to get all those 4 stars, Adam. Got to get him.
Yeah, which one should we play?
Do one of the Hive ones. Do one of the last campaign.
Okay.
Second or third mission.
We'll do the third one. We'll run away from the Queen.
Actually, in that case, let's make sure...
I don't know if we've played that one on stream yet. Isn't there a new Ron Cobb book coming out?
Yes, there is. I think it's September time. I shared a couple of, or at least one of the Facebook posts on the page.
Their mission falls to us. You're going into the heart of the hive to rig the
Zachary Rice asks, you guys into HP Lovecraft at all? Been doing a big deep dive. We are. I need to read more of his works. I have like a big Barnes & Noble hardcover collection of his works, but I haven't read them all, and I really need to. But I mean, I know the basic ones like Mountain of Madness and Cthulhu and stuff like that, but
I have a best of that I dip back into occasionally. I went through a fair few actually a month or so ago. I think it was the first. I always struggle with the names. The Throlopine kind of is like this Egyptian sounding one. I think it was like the first time that character ever came up. I struggle with some of the older language now, though. Some of the older books I struggle to read. I used to enjoy Sherlock Holmes and you know, H.G. Wells and stuff like that, but I struggle to parse the language a lot nowadays. I have to reread sentences quite a few times. I'm becoming dumber as I get older.
it's just, you know, those language norms change over time, and it can be difficult to. Oh, I love me the Lancer. Probably like one of my favorite classes now. White Abaddon says, "What is this microburst slander?" I don't know. I'm just not crazy about it. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I can kill aliens with it, but
not your fave.
Not my fave.
I do like how much this game did expand the armory.
Oh yeah, and we haven't even seen all the new weapons that are coming with pathogen expansion. I mean, we saw a few in the gameplay that was shown during the interviews. Like, they have like an SMG shotgun now, but there's a whole bunch of new weapons that are coming. Like a crossbow, I think, is one of them.
Which sounds random as hell. But
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's an explosive crossbow, but
still though.
Yeah, I just love the vastness of the hive rooms in this last campaign and how they have a very like swooping kind of structure to them. Whoa! Oh, I cannot see anything. What is going on? Okay.
There's all that flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always go on about it, but the level design and the actual and I don't mean that just as in terms of like the gameplay flow and stuff like that, but the literal designs of the levels are just fantastic in this game.
Good start. Have your shits ahead.
Joe says, Aaron, what is your favourite hive level in any video game?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Ooh.
Well, you answer. He's asking you. Then I'll tell you mine.
You know, I don't know if I've got an answer. Like when I think of my favourite levels and stuff like that, I have a huge soft spot for the very first mission from the Marine campaign of 2010. Yeah. Like that is like one of my favourite missions of all time. But then again, I'm also very fond of I think it's the first or second mission of AVP 2, you know, where you end in the hive when you have to go and find...
That was going to be my answer, actually, when you have to rescue your squad
one
mate.
of the COs,
yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite hive levels. But there's a lot of other good hive levels just in that game as well, just in AVP 2. But what else? I would also say the one in 2010, also when you have to rescue one of your squad mates, was a good one.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good because it was nice to see the temple aesthetic with all the hives.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a new editorial piece? AVP Galaxy's top 5
hive scenes, yeah.
Hive levels.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
We'll be standing on AVP Central's toes though there, I think.
Hey, they didn't lay claim on doing top lists. They weren't the first. Even though they do that pretty well. We do love their stuff.
Caleb, do you play the Love?
I think
is it the
I think
Lovecraft
you mentioned
RPG?
that. Oh, he said he'd be cool to try it. Whoa.
Oh boy. Well, there's an Arkham game as well, like a minis game. Is that actually related to the town from Lovecraft? Do you know, Stephen? Am I talking out my arse there? Have we triggered the stuff yet? Yeah, okay.
I do love this SMG though. PPZ.
Yeah, yeah, the PP19 style one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm rocking now as well. Yeah, Arkham Horrors. I think that's the game I'm thinking of.
Might
Okay,
as well
that's cool.
top off your health, Aaron.
I did not realise that was an official Cthulhu game. Just go grab some ammo and then yeah, I'm coming. alright, we're here, Xander, don't worry. We won't leave you. Metal Thrashing Matt says, I remember quite liking the Hive in no exit, unrealistic character abilities notwithstanding. Yeah, that...
You know, that's one of the books I still haven't read, No Exit.
That book is a huge disappointment because of how awesome it had the potential to be. Like, it was such an intriguing and different book until, like, the last, probably fifth of it, where it just... It went off the rails, and I had characters fist fighting the aliens and treating foreigners like mentally challenged people. That book could have been fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't read that or Criminal Enterprise.
Criminal Enterprise was the best of DH Press's stuff, but it wasn't the best. I mean, it wasn't like the best Alien novel.
I need to read South China Sea since you said that's even better than Turnabout, and I really like Turnabout.
You've not read it yet?
No.
Oh boy. Oh ho ho.
Maybe we
Get
can
you sent on that.
Maybe we can bring Christian back for that one, or is he just an alien guy?
I don't think it's really into Predator. It's alright, Leo will join us for that one. Whiteban says, looking forward to the Season 4 announcement. Must not be long.
Oh.
Yeah, it should be this month. Well, it is this month, isn't it?
Wow, Oliveira, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Any new update? I assume you mean for this game? There are a couple coming. We have Season 4 this month, so in the next couple weeks. And then end of August will be the Pathogen expansion.
Which also comes with a new free game mode?
Yeah, it's like a roguelike game. Oh, shit. Like a permadeath one, so I'll be curious to try that out. But when they announced that, I was like, does this game need to be any harder after the higher difficulties?
Zachary Rice says, do you guys think there will be more substantial content down the road? I think one story campaign a year is probably about what we can expect.
Maybe they've done more than one already, and I don't know, maybe it'll be 2 a year. We'll see.
I think that's getting your hopes up, bud.
Well, let me get my hopes up.
No, because then I don't want you to be all disappointed.
I would assume we'll at least get one more campaign. I think that's reasonable to assume. So there will at least be 6 campaigns in total.
You don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't think there'll be more campaigns, I'm just saying I don't think there'll be a faster pace of them.
I just hope we get Pala Station, because I really want to see that. And I hope we get more of the ships. Like, if they had a campaign where the Endeavor gets infected, or the UPP shows up and you have to, like, board their ship, like, so...
That would be cool. I mean, the whole premise of the game allows for a lot of locations to be visited. It allows for a lot of scenery and variation in what we're doing.
Well, yeah, and they even tease that at the end of the campaign. They say, like, the company's on their way, the UPP's on their way. Oh, facehugger. But who knows how far they'll take it. I guess as long as people keep buying them, if Pathogen does well.
The Metal Thrashing Matt also says, I remembered finding parts of Steel Egg interesting, but other DH Press had bits that kind of didn't work. Yeah, the DH Press Alien novels were not the franchise at its best. Steel Egg probably being one of the worst.
I remember liking DNA War. I think that's actually the only one I've read of the DH Press Alien books. But maybe that's just my memory and it not being good. Maybe I would revisit it now and not like it as much. And thank you, Zachary Rice. I try.
I remember it being okay. But I'm not sure how much of that was... It was like some of the first original Alien novels. And I really wanted to like them. The thing is, you know, she came from... The author of that one, Diane Carey, came from Star Trek. And I'd really enjoyed a lot of her Star Trek books that I'd read as well. It's not one I've revisited for a while, to be honest.
Maybe that would make a good podcast. Since I've always talked about...
I can't assume the DH Press episode will ever be that good outside of Predator. Maybe when we're struggling for something, or we've had a good stint of positive episodes, we can... when we need to be put back in our places. Because you can't be too positive and you can't be too negative as fans. It's not allowed.
Yep. If you're too positive, you're just a sellout.
Yep.
If you're too negative, you're just a hater. It's all about finding that balance.
Zachary says, when is the next podcast? I'm hoping this week. I'm doing my second pass on our Prometheus episode. But a lot of my time this week was put into that video. So I didn't get it finished. Crusher on me.
Whoa.
Behind you, Xander. Oh, he's down. Oh, I'm nearly out of ammo. Nice. Nice. Zachary says, I need to get my dad listening. He saw Alien back in the theatre when he came out with his dad. Yeah, by all means, buddy. Share the podcast. We've also recorded our next episode after Prometheus, which was on a couple of the comics that we were quite fond of.
When all three systems are down, the reactor will build up to overload.
We nearly had Christian on that one, Xander.
That elevator you fixed.
Internet. We had him for about 15 minutes and then his internet dropped out and we lost him.
Everything up to this.
But the show had to go on, unfortunately.
Hey, we waited like 15 minutes. We waited.
Thought that catwalk looked unstable. You'll egress by a different route.
Says I was just checking to see whether or not some of the Dark Horse trades were still available, and damn, those prices are already nuts. Yeah, man, I think even just around the Marvel announcement, the prices just got ridiculous at that point.
Yeah, I was looking at Salvation the other day, the hardcover for that, and it's crazy expensive, even used.
The one that I showed on the podcast.
Yeah. So now you guys know what the podcast is about. I was trying to be coy about it.
Oh, it don't matter. Pray to the Heavens is like 86 quid. Jesus Christ. I can't remember if I ever ended up buying that. I had him in singles and then I can't remember if I brought the trade of that.
Yeah, I got that one. That little very short-lived Dark Horses reboot
Yeah, the 2010 reboot.
before they went with Life and Death, Fire and Stone reboot again.
Although I still enjoyed More Than Human. I enjoyed it quite a lot, to be fair.
Oh, was that considered part of that arc as well?
Yeah, that was all related because it all fed into.
Yeah, I really
Real
liked.
World
Oh no, I'm not thinking More Than Human. I'm thinking of Fast Track to Heaven.
Oh, well, I mean, Fast Track to Heaven was its own thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like those were the stories I really liked, like Dust to Dust, Fast Track to Heaven, like AVP Thicker Than Blood. That's where I think Dark Horse in its later years with the franchises really shined. I feel like the big overarching crossover events were not quite as strong.
Zachary says, I really want the omnibuses, but they are so expensive. You're talking about the Marvel collections? Because they are expensive, but pound for pound, you know, you end up getting more comic than you're paying for.
Yeah. The only complaint I have about those is the paper's a little thin. Other than that,
yeah,
they're great.
And the dust covers, but that's just me hating dust covers. Yeah, very much.
We gotta get out of here.
Money. It's not already that time, is it?
You're right. Not yet. My bad. You gonna get any of the Fireteam Elite figures coming?
I will get the. I think it's the Prowler in the first wave, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will get the Prowler. I'm not bothered about the Runner. I'm quite happy with the Alien 3 one I've got already.
See, I was never a big fan of their Alien 3 sculpt, and I'm definitely getting the Runner because it looks like they got it straight from the model of the game.
Yeah, it is. It is. But like, I have mine standing up, and it looks really nice. My Alien 3. What's in Wave 2? Is it the Spitter and the Boiler?
Yeah, they're a Burster in this one. Boiler is Colonial Marines.
It's functionally the same thing.
Yeah, but the boilers are more fun.
Yeah. I will probably buy the Burster, because I think I actually prefer Colonial Marines as Spitter.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta stream Colonial Marines again and do the boiler level, because I don't think we've done that one.
We did a whole playthrough, didn't we?
Not of the main game.
No,
I think we did. Yeah, we did the add-on campaign.
Okay, well, I don't mind doing that.
Ekenrock says, I hate how the Predators are drawn in Prey to the Heavens. Yeah, they definitely had a different styling for the Killer Clan, but the one traditional Predator that showed up, I thought he looked really cool. But he wasn't really in the comic for too long.
Joe says, I love that Protoss used the Spitters from Colonial Marines. I'm glad Protoss branched out and did the various other classes, so to speak.
Yeah, it's a shame that didn't work out. Because they wanted to renew the license, didn't they?
Yeah, Disney weren't interested in AVP. Which is a shame. I never got to play the war game. You know I'm a nerd who likes to go to gaming clubs and stuff like that. And I never got to do Alien quite in that kind of organised play environment, which was a shame.
Well, at least AVP hasn't been totally dead. I mean, we had the book, the anthology, and we have another book coming, and the Marvel comics. I mean, eventually after Predator kicks off, we know they're also doing AVP, so hopefully those sell well and show them that there's still an appetite for the crossover.
There is. There always will be, I think. Caleb says, I grabbed so much stuff for theirs during the sale, but only played it once so far. Yeah, I mean, Chevy and I played a fair bit of the game campaign. We just never really played the war game component of it, you know, the 40k kind of component. Did some really good models and some good classes. Joe says, if I'm ever in Iowa, I'm more than welcome to come say some of the hunt begins with him. I would quite happily take you up on that offer, buddy.
It's hard enough to get you to Utah, though. I don't know if you'll find yourself in Iowa.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I have to tell him, a poor working class Brit who can't afford to go abroad. I can barely afford my addictions as it is. Those being nerd things.
Now we gotta run from the Queen.
Caleb says the crossover's just too big and popular. That essentially it's just part of both franchises at this point. I mean, you're quite right. And to be fair, I think until they're done right, you know, with the whole the way we'll want it done in the future and in space and all that stuff, I don't think there'll ever not be a desire for it. And Wyatt Baden says, fingers crossed that Night Dive get AVP 2.
Oh, dude, Night Dive does such a good job on their remasters. I've been clamoring for that forever. I want them to remaster like AVP Extinction for PC and add multiplayer and Concrete Jungle. Like, those guys are the king of remasters. I know they've had a bit of trouble with their Blade Runner remaster, but they had quite a challenge in front of them with that because they didn't have the original game files for that. But everything else they've done, like Turok, yeah, they would kill AVP2 and some of the older games as well. I've always wanted them to figure out the... Oh, man. I'm behind you guys. The licensing stuff for AVP2 and just give us a re-release.
Run past the Queen?
I'm trying to run past everything. I'm getting hung up on things. Excuse me.
Come on, Ridge, stop. Come on. I like that. I like how the Queen just let you walk by.
There we go. Yeah, I guess people weren't super happy with... they depixelated it, but it kind of ended up looking kind of smudgy, I guess. And I think there were some other technical issues with it as well. There was kind of a backlash after the game came out, and so they immediately added like a classic version of the game that wasn't part of it initially, just a few days after release. I still haven't played it. I want to because I hear that game's awesome, and I've played a little bit of the original Good Old Games release of it.
Right, I think that's us done then, isn't it?
Oh, one more. Just
I won't have time.
Just a horde. Just a quick horde.
No, I'm gonna go now.
All right.
Play with Xander if you want.
Well, you
might have a fucked up sleep cycle, but I try and make.
I don't. I've kind of renormalized it recently. As much as I would love to play Xander, I actually should probably prepare for my trip. But sorry for the technical difficulties today, folks. We will look at other streaming options beyond Shadowplay, and hopefully that will cause our mic issues to go away, because we don't like those mic issues.
No. Well, thank you everybody for joining and watching with us today. It's always appreciated. We love talking to you guys and girls out there, so thank you very much for coming and having a natter with us while we play some games.
Indeed. Yeah, we always look forward to our streams. I'll still be out of town next week, so we won't be streaming then, unless you just want to stream, Aaron.
Hey, if I can find something solo that's fun to play and interesting.
You should. That's what you should. Yeah, because we were thinking of Infestation, so why don't we just do that?
To be fair, I have some random ass old mobile games.
Oh, if you could somehow get the AVP like the on rails light gun cell phone game to work, that would be so cool.
I have a couple of AVPR cell phone games that do work, if I remember rightly. I don't think I have the original AVP games.
And of course, Sander, you're always welcome to join.
Oh no, I do. I have an Alien versus Predator cell phone game there. Which version's that? Well, that'll be fun. Okay, maybe we'll do something fun next time. We'll see. See if I can get things working.
All right,
yeah,
folks.
thank you everybody for watching.
Yep. Thank y'all. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays.